The TB12 Tone Beast is one of the highest quality microphone preamplifiers on the market in its price range. Custom features include USA CineMag Transformers, a fully discrete signal path, 2 discrete 6-pin socketed op-amps, variable impedance input, and much more. Let's go over the features on the Tone Beast. The power switch is used to power the unit on and off. To extend the life of the electronics, please turn the Tone Beast off when not in use. The microphone level input, or XLR, is designed for dynamic, condenser, and ribbon microphones. Other instruments or devices that put out a low-level microphone signal can also be plugged into this input. The input impedance can be set to either 600 or 150 ohms via the tone button. The front panel 1/4-inch input sends the instrument's signal through the entire preamp circuit, including the input transformer, discrete op-amp, or operational amplifier, and output transformer. You can connect a variety of instruments through the Hi-Z input on the front panel of the Tone Beast, including acoustic and electric guitars, bass guitars, keyboards, synths, and drum machines. The Hi-Z switch engages the front panel 1/4-inch input and turns off both XLR inputs. The line input switch engages the TRS line input on the back of the Tone Beast and disconnects the XLR microphone inputs. The 48-volt switch provides power for condenser mics and any other devices requiring continuous phantom power through the XLR input. This power is supplied at a constant level to prevent any degradation of audio quality. The pad switch applies -20 dB to the incoming signal. This is a very useful feature for reducing the level coming into the Tone Beast and thus preventing the signal from clipping or distorting. This may occur due to high output level from a microphone or other device. Padding the input serves to provide increased headroom for the operator while lessening the likelihood of signal overload. The polarity switch inverts the polarity of the signal. Use the polarity switch when recording with more than one open microphone to combat phase cancellation between microphones. The high-pass filter removes unwanted low frequencies from your source signal below 80 Hz. The discrete op-amp switch allows you to choose between 2 completely different discrete analog operational amplifiers. One of the op-amps is built to the schematic of the classic Melcore 1731 style discrete op-amp, a predecessor to the popular 2520 style op-amp. The other is the Jensen 918, a more modern and linear type of op-amp. Both op-amps are socketed and use the classic 2520 6-pin footprint. This allows users to remove the op-amps easily without soldering and replace them with their own op-amps of choice. The tone switch changes transformer configuration from a 1:4 step-up turns ratio to a steeper 1:8 step-up turns ratio, drawing out a greater degree of coloration and impact from both the input transformer as well as the discrete op-amp. When engaged, the input impedance of the Tone Beast is 150 ohms. When disengaged, the input impedance of the Tone Beast is 600 ohms. The capacitor switch changes 2 capacitors in the circuit from tantalum to electrolytic. The vintage setting is for tantalum capacitors. The clean setting is for electrolytic. Of all the tone features provided in the Tone Beast, this option is the most subtle, but still noticeable to many ears depending on the source being treated. The output transformer bypass switch removes both the nickel and steel core transformers from the circuit. Use this option when seeking for less character or a more transparent signal. The signal will experience a loss of -8 dB when this switch is engaged. The output transformer selector switch allows the user to switch between 2 CineMag output transformers of different tone and make. The steel core transformer sounds more vintage with a fairly mid-forward tone. The 50% nickel core transformer has a cleaner tone than the steel and was custom designed by CineMag specifically for the Tone Beast. The gain knob control is variable and adjusts the Tone Beast's gain from +29 dB to +65 dB or from +35 dB to +71 dB when the tone switch is engaged. The output control knob controls the signal exiting the Tone Beast. It ensures that the amplified signal doesn't exit the TB12 too loud and overload the inputs on the user's interface or the next device in the signal chain. It also gives the user greater ability to drive the gain of the preamp harder, resulting in greater colorization and tone shaping within various settings. Microphone level input, or XLR, is designed for dynamic, condenser, and ribbon microphones. Other instruments or devices that put out a low-level microphone signal can also be plugged into this input. The line input is padded -25 dB and is designed for line-level instruments or sources that put out line-level signals such as keyboards, electric instruments, or audio interface outputs. Insert, send and receive. This input and output are designed to allow another device, such as a compressor or EQ, to be inserted in the middle of the Tone Beast circuit. These connections insert the secondary device into the circuit after the input transformer, pad, pole, tone, and discrete amplifier selections, but before the output transformer. The send and return connections for the TB12 are separated, but unbalanced, and operate at +4 dB line level. We recommend unbalanced quarter-inch patch cables. +4 dB balanced output is provided on an XLR and quarter-inch TRS connection for convenience. Unbalanced operation is possible via quarter-inch TRS output using an unbalanced quarter-inch cable. We do not recommend using both outputs simultaneously. Thank you for purchasing the Warm Audio TB12 Tone Beast Tone Shaping Mic Preamp and DI. We feel this product offers the best in terms of the sound, function, and vibe from the classic era of analog recording. Whether this is the first piece of outboard gear you've ever purchased outside of a recording interface or merely the first in a long time, we thank you and we welcome you back to the world of analog.